morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. I'm your host, Sir Stephen Top of Hat the Third, at your service. Today, we're going to talk about this very seriously again because the North Norfolk Railway won't believe that what has been unfolded is the actual truth. The facts always points to me, and I'll always be acknowledged. I know a lot of you are probably getting the understanding of this because they read, like the whole community knows, and the global world understands what's unfolded. Right, the North Norfolk Railway is screwed up, right? How badly, right? The management is so messed up, cutting the story short, obviously. Then we will talk about why. We're going to talk about something seriously now. Now, a lot of you are asking yourself a question. Why is my family so bloody involved, so bloody badly with the railway system? It's unbelievable that I know what the North Norfolk Railway is actually up to. Every time we actually say this, the magic you refuse to believe in will get the better of you, right? Sometimes a lot of people are ungrateful. So ungrateful, they don't give a flaming shit. Excuse my language, but that's true. But when you see something unfold, right? Nearly every one of you in the community has numbers, telephone numbers, etc., going down the line. I won't go into complete detail. We have a little anagram put in front of us, right, to show us how we all connected. I'm not going to go through all mine because I already know what mine is, right? Right? It could be people, it could be connections, it could be friends, it could be family, it could be anything, right? Establish that, right? You're running scared now more than anything because you're witnessing something that's unfolded, right? It applies to Sheringham, it applies to West London, it applies to Cromer, it applies to Norwich, it applies to all Norfolk and United Kingdom and the rest of the globe, right? Acknowledge, right? There are a lot of things in this world you're lucky to bloody damn have, rather than feel sorry for yourself, right? A private connection of mine said the exact same thing, right? Long time ago, thousands of your Earth years, right? To establish, right? An agent told me this, and I'm not rely on this, and a lot of you don't know where the bloody hell you're going, left, right, or centre. It just feels like you're stuck. You don't know where to go, left, right, or centre. The North Norfolk Railway has just failed. It's just a complete failure. They are begging for mercy right now, asking for volunteers, staff, etc. I said, you be allowed to go in there when I'm ready, when I'm on there. You're not allowed to go on there extremely. They think they're running the railways. No, they're not. They're running what you call a magical system. A system that connects you to everything, to a certain level. Everybody worked hard on that railway in 2019 and we established that. Why is 19 so bloody important? You don't even know what's right from wrong at the moment. You don't know what to turn, left, right, or centre. Ask yourself, I'm acknowledging to you, are you establishing what you see is what you get and what's unfolding is what's supposed to unfold and you try to wiggle around in your head thinking about it. And then the biggest catch is your own doing. Right? You're gonna screw up, right, so bloody badly you can't fix it anymore. And then my family and myself, mainly to start off with, is going to go up to the North Norfolk Railway to fix all your little shit problems. Fix the problems in front of you. Establish what's unfolded. We establish everything. But the thing is, you're lost. You don't know which way to go. Right? In this case, you have to let things unfold naturally. We have to. Because a lot of things you may not understand at this moment, may not understand a lot of things. It takes a lot of conversation to build it up, right? You, as the individual, doesn't matter if it's a he or she, will understand. I know a lot of people before they jump on that railway, right? We established that the North Norfolk Railway's got a bad rep. We know they got what they don't realise. They're losing a lot of staff. They're losing a lot of employees again, and the volunteers. They're not going to bim bam bam strawberry jam and give it to you willy nilly, no. Because the thing you needed the most, you booted out first. Why? It's a lie. One lie fucks you all up. Right? That lie is what Andrew Mudden, Phil slash Diesel, Davis Diesel, lied to you. Lied to the management. Get the Daisy to do the dirty work. Get his his own wife to do the dirty work. Why? Then you have a lot of people on that board, on that premises, that didn't deserve all that booting out. You had 1,000 volunteers and you screwed up. Big time. Something you've got to clear up. If you don't clear up, I'm saying you're not allowed to run no trains, no DMUs, nothing. Why? Put yourselves first before anything else. But you got to believe what's unfolded is the truth. The truth you can't handle? Ask yourself the question. Because the magic you refuse to believe in will get a better of you because it always does. The thing is, it's all in the mathematics, it's all in the map, it's all in the people, it's all everything. DNA. Right? When people think of DNA, what comes through your head? The DNA is a code, right? When people know about this in hospitals, they should know this by inside and out. Who the father is, who the mother is, blah blah blah, going down the chain, and then realise why. Why is the fat controller returned? Why? Because someone's got to take over the North Norfolk Railway. The North Norfolk Railway can't run on its own feet, on its four platters, because they're already losing what they're supposed to gain. Just because you've been very selfish, the North Norfolk Railway has. I'm not saying the community hasn't. The community knows everything that you're doing. Just unfold that little piece. Every unfoldment you do, you make mistakes, loopholes, if you will, little pieces that could connect, little pieces that could understand why you've been put in that railway. Why? All right, let's give you an example. Right, a lot of us have examples, understanding, making it sure that you get what you need is what you get. Right, making sure you get the money you're earning, right? Then you've got the management to deal with, which is a pain in the assholes at the moment. Excuse my French. But the management are banned out of order. Why? So in one, they all want to move forward, they cannot. Because there's something in the puzzle piece you're not seeing. Let me give you an example, right? There's a lot of people I know that are already on that premises, right? Let's take one of my support engines called Alice. Yeah, we know Alice quite well. Well known. She's a well known individual. We know that quite well. Oh, right, we know a lot of people quite well, right? A lot of people will go to arm's length to say what? He knows us, he knows this. Right? Let's take it for example. Ben as example. Harvey, obviously. Oh, Bill and Ben are all on the go. Boom, boom. Then you have, right, then you've got a lot of people that do not understand what they're doing, right? I am waiting for something that you can't believe what's going to unfold in front of you. But you're destroying it by because the railway is acting like a bunch of not acting what they should be, right? We established that the railway has got a bad rep, right? We established that there's things that need to unfold correctly, right? A lot of people don't give a shit, excuse my language, I know that for sure, right? A lot of people go to arm's length to recorrect things like this in a big way, right? They're scared. They are thinking, oh crap, did we do something wrong? Let me put it in perspective for you. There's a reason why a lot of people, through through connections and family and friends, we have a reason, right? I establish in a lot of runs that I know of, I pick up on things very, very quickly. Understand what what you're seeing is what you're getting. It's unfolding in front of you, right? What happens if you really, really, really thought about it twice and realised he's telling the truth, right? There's going to be a lot of explaining. But I'm going to tell you a story, right? To put it in at ease, why it unfolded the way it did, right? A lot of you know my family more longer than the North Norfolk Railway itself, right? The LNER days is more popular than the fucking North Norfolk Railway in general. But if you keep ignoring and unsubscribing, as they say, you're losing out big time, right? So when everything unfolds in front of you, you're who's losing out? You, right? Why is number 5, season 5, so important? It's unfolding in front of you, and people don't want to believe it. Right. There are a lot of things that are unfolding correctly for a reason. Right? I cannot ignore all my responsibilities to be on a full time basis with the North Norfolk Railway. They screwed up. Right? The North Western Railway Company is coming in to replace you all. Because you're all a bunch of arse wipes. Why is that? If I remember correctly, my private connection, Johnson, right, who's actually my family's working partner at the time, long time ago, and established that when he built his engines, he built two of them, right? 2 times equals 10 equals 20 overall in total, right? But, starting point, you screwed up, right? Then the magic hits, right? Bang, bang, bang. The DNA code went with the numbers all the time. Why? Right? A lot of people know this too well. Right? A lot of people say, why numbers so important? Right? We all talk about numbers, but we also got to tell you why you must not refuse what I say, because it's the magic you refuse to believe in will get a better of you. And it always has done. Every generation it pulls out. Why? Children are the key. Children are well respected. Adults that were brought up with the franchise is well respected. Why? I got every employee on my list. Right? All of you. Around the globe, in the UK, Australia, United States, all of you. Why? Ask yourself a very hard question that you can't work out. Right? We all take things for a realistic point of reason, right? Let me put this in perspective for you, right? Why is 1963, as example, important? What did my great uncle actually do? Add the 20 in. Y equals 83. So when it came to my birthday on October the 10th, then the year was already in play. 83. 1983, October the 10th. Third gen Hatt was born. Bang! Why? So what happened during the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s? Why? Why? This is the magic you can't refuse to believe will get the better of you, and it just did on a silver platter. But there was a mistake done in the 80s. What did my great uncle do to make sure my mother stayed safe? Why? Everything doesn't always unfold naturally in front of you unless you see it. Right? When you read the books, you understand everything we've been through. Left, right, or centre. Right? We established the point that the Norfolk Railway screwed up. Right? In the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s, everybody starts picking up the pieces. Pieces, but pieces. Why? People know things that you don't or pick up on. So what do they do? They screw up. So what do? The Norfolk County Council can help? No. They are the Sodor County Council, SCC, right? And we have to realise we have our own bloody flag. Yes, the Norfolk has its own flag, but it's a Southern flag. Wake up, it smelled of coffee. Now you're going to see the biggest storyline in history, right? You're wondering, Charles Topham Hatt II used to work during the railway period between the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. Why? Until I came along, right? In the 80s, right? He realised that he couldn't get to me. Why? Ask yourself why he couldn't get to me. What is so important about me that you don't actually see? This is why the NHS and the NSFT all got screwed up. I've recollected the NSFT problem and I recollected the NHS problem. Why? Everything was unfolded correctly, the way you want it. Now you got the third. Now you got to wait for my granddaughter, but you got to work out why is she important? Why is she connected? Why? Do you know how I worked it out? Instead of going up the ladder, we're going down the ladder. So we are reversing, but we're still going forward. We don't have the opportunity, right? During the 80s, right, you had Thomas and the Magic Railroad in real life. Why is that? Why is it? Why? You're coming to the Thomas and the Magic Railroad, but it's all separated. Why? Little pieces, right, had to be done at the same time, right? The anagram was separated. You're talking about the rail. What's the rails that spin so well? Go on, keep going. And then you working out why is Thomas running away from Diesel 10, for example, right? Or you've got Lady running away as well at the same time. Why is that? You're asking yourself a very big question that you can't answer because the answer is staring right in front of you, right? My great uncle and all the rest of the original steam team of 1958 who did appreciate Thomas, obviously. So what happened? When Thomas comes along, he's always been really useful. But What happened when Diesel T10 showed up? He wanted to kill Lady, destroy her, if you will. But he couldn't. Why? Safeguard. So work it out. A lot of you are asking the biggest question of all. All the family exists for realistic, so you can't screw us over now. The law is the law on that, obviously. And you're asking yourself, let me give you a equation here, right? You want magic, you refuse to believe in will get the better of you. It always did, right? You just got to let it unfold naturally. Why is it? People that don't believe in this will start to realize how screwed up in their heads they are. Right? That's including the Norfolk Railway management. Right? They refused the magic and it got better out of them. Why? Because the answer was right in front of them. Right? The North Norfolk Railway are not forgivable. They're not helpful. They don't give a shit about the public or the community. They're begging wolf, crying wolf. Alright? They're acknowledging that they are trying to do this, they're trying to do that, they're trying to do everything under the sun. Right? Right? A lot of the diesel team is still floating about. Right? Let's take Paul Muxton for a moment, right? Acted like a moron, a twat, you name it, right? Why? He acted so much of a twat because he did not realise when I used to meet him at one point in the carriage area to do all the ripping of the seats and all of that, right? Acknowledge that I was sociable, which was true to a point. I was trying to be kind hearted at the same time. Why? Because I was forcibly put there by Davis Diesel's wife. Why? They thought they could get rid of me so bloody well. No, they screwed up. So if he just let it, if they all knew about my future ahead of schedule like they always do, they fucked up. So what's happened? The North Norfolk Railway wants volunteers. They want employees. No, just get out of a building to stay safe. Because in the building, you're going to get what has been given to you by the diesel team. Spitefulness, unrespectful, and they don't care about you. All they care about is the money factor, which is all down to truth, right? You always want to believe in something, right? You had a man that believed he could fly, which Christopher Reeve provided, obviously. And then you had now got a real life fat controller on the line. What do? Don't screw me over because I will screw you right over this time round. And I'm not making this as a long podcast, but I want you to realise because the magic you refuse to believe in will get the better of you. It always has done. Why? Charles Topham the second did his work and acknowledged my telephone number at the time was very important. Why? Why was the house number very important at that time before we changed it, right? You have to acknowledge that the things we were given is a DNA code, descendantly, not ascendantly as well. You got both ways on this one. So, why? If you don't believe me that we saved Lady from being destroyed, right? And now she's available again, right? But I'm not telling you the identity of this individual, right? The problem is because the magic you refuse to believe in will get the better of you, and it always has done. Oh boy. And it's getting really, really well done, right? People just don't get it no more. Why? Because you screwed up. So when you feel like you got a job to do, you feel like you're proud of your job, what side are you on? The diesels or the steamies? Because you got to make it. You got to make a decision before I can even go on there. Right? The North Norfolk Railway won't back down. They don't give a shit. I will keep. I will keep doing this and give out the truth straight away. Why? I'd rather be honest with you lot than feel sorry for you. At the moment, the people that are working on there, I do feel sorry for. Right? Because they're out of the management are, they are screwheads. They don't give a damn about you. I do. Right? There's somebody that's really useful, more powerful than the management of the North Norfolk Railway. Why? Ask yourself a question. After all, in every angle, and acknowledge that you can't say no, and it always does. Burnett Stone's warning was the perfect one for you. Why? He was always honest, he's always up front, but he made a valid point. The magic you refuse to believe in will get the better of you, and it always has. Every time we return, we always fight. The reason why we fight the way we do, the way we talk, get the truth out. If you really want to know why I said that Diesel 10 nearly did the damage that he was done, ask yourself a question. Who has that type of personality right now? Right? We all know Charles Topham Hatt II is my father, and we know that my mother is Dr. Hat. Ask yourself a question. What personality did Charles Topham Hatt have? The second, obviously. He had Diesel 10's personality. So what do you think he did? You know, when we were trying to get away from him, which it did, right? It was 12 o'clock at night. I remember it was like that day, that night. And my mum came home from the party. And my father, Charles Topham Hatt II, was very fucking angry. What do you think he did? That was unforgivable. He pulled my mother's hair and dragged her down the driveway. By the time that that he got into the house, right, my grandfather got up in time and said, "Don't do that." Do you know what he got? My grandfather, Henry Cooper, as you know him as Henry, got a fat lip from my own father. So work it out. It's all true, facts and logic and all. But did lady survive? Yes. Why? The steam team got red flagged. Why? Because my grandfather told my other grandfather, Sir Topham Hatt the First, the red flag. So then my grandfather, on my father's side of the family, then started to get very cross with my father. Why? Ask yourself a question. You want to know about Thomas and the Magic Railroad? I'm now going to fill in the last piece of the puzzle gap that you never thought you would. You know Lily? Lily that we all know and love? Lily, who played by Maria Wilson? Now, why is Wilson's surname got in common? Ask yourself a question. Right? We all know about Lily very well. This is my great auntie. Right? I went to visit her. Right? Regardless. Why? Thomas the Tank is based on the Cooper family. Plus the Hatt family. Combine them together, what do you get? Me. Because you're talking about my father, my mother, myself, and my grandfather. Because the Coopers have been around as well a lot longer than you think. But it's not the end game yet. Now people are asking big questions. Oh shit. You're probably saying, oh shit, crap, it's real life. Get real. The problem is I can't move forward because the North Norfolk Railway fucked up. So when the North Norfolk Railway screws themselves over, that's it. It's basically saying to them, you screwed up, clear up your act and grow up. Because this is a real life event. And you can't take it or you can't handle it. What happened to if I don't get on a platform, as example, as it was meant to play out, right? The North Norfolk Railway don't care about it until they get money in their pockets, right? A lot of people in my time, I'm not taking no responsibility because it wasn't my fault when I got booted out. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't the volunteers' fault or the employees' fault at the time, right? They didn't do nothing wrong. We know that. That's 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 unfolded. That's the truth, right? What's going to happen now with the North Norfolk Railway? They're going to be so screwed up they can't fix themselves. Why? They're begging for mercy on Facebook, which I could bloody give out a red flag for that instantly and say that you can't do that, you can't do this, right? We established that they got this problem and they got bank holiday steam trains running. Do you know why? Because without me, those steam trains would have been destroyed. Why? Think about it. Think about it logically. All the steam trains will all go back to the museum mode. Why? Because you screwed up. So they'd be safeguarded. The society, the circle, all knew about this. Why? Because they all prepared for the Hatt family to return. Why? To safeguard the North Norfolk Railway and get rid of the management and get it recorrected. Mistakes solved. Why? Mistakes cannot be repaired unless they got repaired by me or a certain higher up hierarchy. I said, look, at the end of the day, you got a witness, you got a statement, and you also got a acknowledgement. Why was Thomas and the Magic Railroad so damn bloody special? It connects to the Cooper family, the Hatt family, and my colleagues and friends. Bang! What do you end up with? Every time you get a bloody magic you refuse to believe in will get the better of you. Oh yeah, the bloody Evening News or EDP advertised my father, Charles Topham Hatt, get married, and that was at Orstead Castle in Norwich. Bang! That's in Orstead, obviously. Bang! What you're gonna end up with? You still don't believe that? I'll just say, how come, right, his third wife has got a son called Dan, who's a diesel, right? He's not a bad diesel, nor is Norman Lamb. Yeah, former MP or yeah. So we acknowledge that he's not a bad guy, but there are a lot of diesels that will fuck you over. Excuse my French, I'm repeating it like a record. You're asking yourself, why are these diesels there to fuck you? They've messed up, they screwed up, and they're taking advantage out of you. The steam team is all on standby. Why? So the magic you refuse to believe in will get the better of you. It always had done. For a lot of the community that's hearing this right now is understanding everything. I don't need to lecture the bank pole with it. I know who my wife is. I know who my granddaughter is. I know everything above what's ahead of me. Right? But I cannot, in any circumstances, reveal who my wife is. Right? You're ending up with a big, big problem. The North Norfolk Railway is not to be trustworthy right now. They lost respect. So realistically, I'm gonna start working my butt off. Why? Because it's my time to say cash 22 is on the line. So when you look at a lot of stuff that goes on at the North Norfolk Railway, just use your eyes and ears for God's sake. Because they're there for a reason. And you guys don't believe what's unfolding? Wait. Just wait. When you realise that you screwed up. Because these diesel tenors not there to harm you. It's the diesel team on the platform that's destroying you. So work it out. They pay your money, you get out of the building and stay out. Right? Just make it your last day of work and you piss off home. Just don't worry about me at the moment. At the moment, respect me. Be I'm being honest with you, straight to the horse's mouth. Everything is unfolded the correct way that it should, played out the way it should. But acknowledge you've got a big problem, right? The North Norfolk Railway is not going to repair your damage or repair what you need, what you want, so blah blah blah. They don't give a damn about that. All they care about is money. Always funny in a rich man's world. We don't just think about the song all the time. We think about the action, the consequences of your actions, of the North Norfolk Railway's actions are the consequences that you end up pulling and pulling and pulling. Why? In the day, you're going to lose out big time. And when the time comes, the North Norfolk Railway will just be standing static. Well, in the day, you're looking at things and you're seeing things unfold naturally. The steam team was all on standby. They're just not going to be released to you. Some of them are working in Scotland, Wales, England, all of it. But when the diesel team goes, poof, everything should be correct in alignment of the way it should have been. Right? Everything should be whacked out, smacked out, naughty. Right? We know the diesel team. Too damn bloody well. Right? We acknowledge they are bad people. We acknowledge that you're getting paid by them, don't get us wrong. But in reality, you're basically being used, polarized. So acknowledge that you, in the day, you really want something bad enough, earn it, earn it, and earn it. Because every time we come back, we're always there to fix problems, left, right, or centre. If people expect the North Norfolk Railway to grow up, which they will do eventually, they will understand what unfolds is the thing that's meant to unfold. And then if the diesel team breaks the middle, they break the whole lot and they destroy themselves in the process. Why? The North Norfolk Railway is not just a normal heritage railway, alright? It's not a normal steam heritage. What did they do that destroyed them? The community is aware of their damage, right? Use your heads. God, it takes one man to know what meant to be unfolding. We established that there's a team of heroes of the rails, as you like to call it correctly, and established that. Right. There's one force that won't reckon with you. And I tell you now, it'll be me, and you won't like me. You will feel sorry for me because you're ending up saying, yeah, well, now we're learning. Sorry about the interference or not understanding you or whatever's been acknowledged. If you're not really understanding everything and you start to realize, oh, why is this all coming out? Why is this all coming out? I said the magic It's in the heart of the person. Not just the person, but the fact controller, his friends, his connections, his colleagues, all of it. Why? You spit them in the face, including myself. So work it out. You spit me in the face, telling me I'm a useless pile of shit, if you like to call it correctly, and the North Norfolk Railway wants money on the silver platter. I said no, they won't get it. So watch it. That people are gonna be self-aware. People are gonna notice things. They're gonna pick up on things. And when they know that this is not a good railway, which it isn't, they are scared. The North Norfolk Railway is scared. Why? Because they lost whites, respect, and dignity. Look at yourselves and realise who's supposed to be on there, white? Am I getting any, what you call, it's not just about respect. It's a lot of honesty has come out of this mouth of mine. It's not a game anymore. People are starting to wake up and smell the coffee, right? The North Norfolk Railway is not a playground for you to drive those trains every day or every night. You have to establish why. Why it is done. Why you don't believe. Just ask yourself a question. You don't know how lucky you are in the end, do you? This is why the North Norfolk Railway is so damn scared. Because they have been fighting their own against what should be unfolding. But no, they discriminated what is need to be done. And I'll be back in a minute. So welcome back after all. So in the end of the day, what are you gonna do? I'm giving you a little bit of few minutes of thinking time rather than just playing around games. This is no game. This is reality of it. And the people that don't believe it, ask yourself a question. You're asking yourself, how did he know that? How does he know that? Or how did he pick up on these things? And then you're asking yourself the biggest question. Things are better yet to come. But the thing is, as long as the diesel team are on that North Norfolk Railway property, they're destroying what should be unfolding correctly. So work it out. You've got a diesel team that are a bunch of assholes, if you want to put it correctly in your terms, right? They will destroy everything you bloody adore. So do you really want the steam engines to go back into the museum? Which they won't do. But acknowledge what I'm saying. Things, when things come to you, the North Norfolk Railway doesn't give a shit. And they will never give a shit, right? They don't give a damn about their own bloody whatever they do up there. They don't give a damn, right? When it comes to it, right? Everybody's advertising and all of that. And so I said, don't bother because the next thing that comes is that all my connections are already in the building and colleagues are already in the building, except the diesel team, my ad. So when you got a diesel team floating about and you can't believe in this magic or you can't refuse, you can't believe what's unfolded to you or acknowledge this is all true, it feels like some people are scared because the truth is setting all everybody free. Why is that? So we could gain some respect around here. Not because what we got and what we're able to achieve. You have to be realistic and say, right, This is all happening. Now, let me give you an example, right? Just to give everybody a heads up that I know about everybody, right? Right? A lot of you probably understand what I'm about to bring up, right? You like the diesel team so bloody much? This is what they're going to do to you if they don't back up, right? I already got it all in proportion and I already got it set on in goal. So, in the first things first is understand why the diesel team screwed you over. Because that's the first thing that they will do, right? We acknowledge that they got a problem. We acknowledge that the diesel team has got a major problem, right? So now you're seeing what I'm talking about. You got Sydney on the left, you got Devious Diesel on the right, and the three boneheads in the middle. Why? So you got Devious Diesel on the right, and you got Sydney on the left. So acknowledge this, because this is the magic you refuse to believe in. Now let's go back in time, shall we? So there's more, and I'm telling you now. So watch out. And this is a steam team that will knock you out, right? We acknowledge what's unfolding is the truth, right? The thing is, you're gonna let yourselves in the big hoo ha in the end, right? Now let's go to 1958, right? We establish that there is a little cat in the mouse on this, right? We acknowledge that there is magic is well presented to you, right? You want the Steam Team, the original ones? Here it is. Share it up, punk. So you got the Steam Team, obviously. You have my great uncle on the left and my grandfather on the far right. So there you go. That's that. But that's 10 years later, which it did, right? It's what's going to buckaroo you up, right? You all think the Steam Team just disappeared straight away like that. No, we didn't. So the more you refuse, the harder it gets, right? Let me give you another example, right? Now, I am really gonna step my mark on this one because this one will open your eyeballs, right? We all realise that the diesel team is the shitty one, as we all know it. But this is the steam team 10 years later. There you go. As you can see, you got my great uncle on the far right and our connections and colleagues on there from day from 1967. So there you go. It's all acknowledgement in the end. So when you think this is not a joke, the magic you refuse to believe in will get a better of you because it always has done. But in the day, you don't realise what goes on in everybody's head. I tell you now, people are intelligent. They're not stupid. It's a way the story is unfolding in front of you. So when you see this story, when you see this book, let me just go this far. Don't. Right? When we acknowledge Thompson's friends, right? I'm now going to put in the magic right in front of your eyeballs, right? We acknowledge that this book is based on the real life event. It's always had been, and you're defeating the object. So when you think of Diesel and his bloody morons and all of that, just remember what actions they've done in this, because it will unfold everything. It's not a game, that's for sure. So every story of Thomas and Friends by Reverend Robert Audrey is based on a real life event. So all you have to do is fill in the gaps. So now you're asking yourself, where's the other part of me? So let me tell you a secret behind that one. It's been playing out in front of you. So what you've been doing, trying to destroy it or trying to acknowledge it. So the magic you refuse to believe in will get the better of you. So what happens when Burnett Stone told every engine that? Right, the only other person that wasn't in the playing field at that time was Edward, because he was at the works at the time. So work it out. It's all true, it's all logic, it's all respect. What you're doing with the Fat Controller third gen, you're screwing him up, near enough, but you're not. I'm getting more intelligent on the diesel team and get rid of them. So when they get rid of, the management will go with them, bang, bang, bang. They can't do nothing right now. They destroyed themselves, right? Every employee and volunteer that's going on there right now, or they're planning to, right? Don't volunteer so easy, right? The track safety test will have two versions on there, right? Because we're going to test not your strengths and weaknesses, we're going to test your personality, right? Your personality will be tested. Why? Because we have to make sure we get the right people on board. We have to make sure that the diesel team is thrown out. Why? Because that's the main objective right now. I can't go up there because I'm a steamy. When I was young, I used to tell these, my mother, I did not like diesels. Never would do, never will happen. Why? Because they betray us all. So you have the steam team and the diesel team fighting it out, one by one by one. Bang, 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 bang. The steam team has returned after all this time, and you still don't believe in magic. Just like that, that's realistic. It's a real life event, like Harpy stated in the first video. It's a real life event that you can't stop. Alright? You're basically destroying yourselves. Season 5 is basically on hold. So when you think you got all the cards in your hand, who's got all the cards in my hand? I have. Why? Because I know every move you're making. Doesn't matter doesn't matter what sex you are or gender you are. It's the actual action you're gonna do. Is it gonna be a good result or consequences? You make what you want to make it. But in the end of the day, is it better for you or not better for you? You have to make a decision to say, I can't work on this railway because it's too powerful. Correct. The hats are back to recorrect this and make you understand what you see is what you get. But at the same time, it's unfolding the season right through. So when I'm doing all my timeline correctly, diesel team screw up. You're asking for the red flag to get the steam team back on there. You cannot do that straight away. So you need to understand how the diesels operate to get rid of. Why? Because the management doesn't help. They don't give a shit. They care about the money. When the money's involved, then the money's screwed. That's including your wages, your support line, your help, or anything, right? You have to acknowledge what you're seeing is what you're getting. What's unfolding. Why? I know everybody's telephone numbers. I know everybody's direct debit cards, all of it. Why? Because they linked. You to realize, understand why. Everything has a purpose in life, right? Every one of us, right? I know a lot of engines that are coming your way, right? Steam engines, proper engines, including people, steam team and all. The new ones, if you want to call them correctly. And they will say, well, how do you know this? How do you know that? And I said, secrets have to be kept, right? So when you think this is not a joke, ask yourself, when a lot of things come to you, don't fucking throw them in the dark ages or the book. Because all you're doing is destroying everything that's already starting to unfold in front of you. A learning curve is what I was trying to establish. People need to wake up and smell the coffee, right? People go to arms and length to realize, oh, let me tell you why I know a lot of it, right? You got Peter, you got Alice, Lily, Olivia, Connor, Colin, Eric, Adam. Why? Then there's more. Abigail, near enough, which is true. So a lot of us, Adam as well, and then a lot of people say Alfred, Alice, obviously, Alice and Maribel. Oh my god. Anyway, you get the point. So work it out. The events are playing unfoldedly correct. The way it should. Annie and Clarabelle, obviously, which is normal. But a lot of these people are real life. But these are people that I'm supposed to be interacting with. So if the Diesel team don't drop their guard, there will be consequences on the North Norfolk Railway. They will never cease to exist. And everything they once knew will be destroyed because they fucked up. Thank you very much.